Is there a difference from an IEP in a public school versus homeschool? Um, and yes. Oh, that's wonderful. Fonda said that that Earl was in her backyard. Not literally, but in the same county. So awesome. A small world. Um, so what about IEPs? So when I've been kind of like the forerunner in this debate in the homeschooling community, so I guess I'm the best person to answer this question. Um, Years ago, I did research. There was a woman who wrote her doctoral dissertation on why homeschoolers were disadvantaged because they didn't have an IEP. And so I wrote a series of rebuttals through the Texas Homeschool Coalition, based on the actual law in the federal law that mandates IEPs. And within that law of the Individuals with Disability and Education Act, it states that a parent is part of the IEP team. Yes, an IEP was specifically made to keep a school accountable for the individualized education that a child needs and to hold that school accountable. That does not mean that you can't create a document that's called an IEP for your homeschool that is very similar to what's used in the school to keep you accountable. I would suggest not doing it with your public school to keep your homeschool items accountable, but you as a parent are part of that IEP team. And so you can write an IEP document with your child's therapist, other people that work with you, their tutors, and create this comprehensive plan, and also document what you are doing each year to help your child achieve their goals throughout your schooling year. It's a great document because what we found, and what this original person who wrote her dissertation on the disadvantage of homeschooling without an IEP, is that IEPs have moved beyond the public school setting. They are now documents that are requested by doctors' offices, by the Social Security Administration in some places. And without that document, you are disadvantaged because it is the only document that some places will receive as the proper document to document your child's need for services. So, yes, homeschoolers were disadvantaged by not writing them, but it doesn't mean they're disadvantaged because they're homeschooled. It just means that you need to fill in the gaps with this document to record the history of what your child needs for accommodations, modifications, how progress is happening in your homeschool. There are some states that require you to show progress, especially if your child has fallen below a certain level on their yearly exams that are mandated within the state. There's not very many of those states, but there are some. So this again is one of those documents that can help to show that progress has been made, and to keep track of that as a history of your child learning and what you did to help them achieve those goals and the measurements that you took to show the progress. It also shows, what behavioral goals your child had, what supports they needed, what supports actually worked, because now we're moving into when your child graduates, the ADA law, the Individuals with Disability and Education Act, ends when your child ends their K-12 schooling process. And then when they go into higher education, out into the workforce and all the other things above and beyond out there, they are now under the umbrella of the Americans with Disabilities Act, the ADA, which only looks at accommodations. So if you've been tracking accommodations that have worked very well for your student, and your student can show history that those accommodations have worked, if they take a test for a college entrance exam, they are more likely to get those accommodations because of the history that you've recorded and shown has been successful. If they need accommodations when taking a driver's test, when they are going to a college and needing accommodations and requesting those, or a tech school, or anywhere else, or in their workforce. So yes, there is a difference between the public school IEP, because the public school team is in charge of the creation and the usage, how they follow that IEP within the school. Within your homeschool, you are in charge. You're actually not only the teacher, you are the principal and the behavioral specialist and everything else all tied in one. And more than likely, you have other people on your team. I know when we created the IEP template on our website, we made a lot of signature spaces on there, and that was per the request of one of my team members who uses this document every year. And she has her OT sign it, she signs it, because they're all working on the same goals for her daughter. And so why not say, yes, we're going to do this together? And now that her daughter's gotten older, she makes her daughter sign it too, which is, we want our kids to be accountable for their own educational success as well when they can be. So I hope that answers your question.